Sold out crowd, sold out field, 53 cars deep. And green flag is going to fly. We're racing at GingerMan Raceway. Look at the start for Curly. Had to jump on the brakes. Matan Rosenberg side by side through turn one, trying to challenge Chatrup for the lead. Big slide. Jensen turns around.
Oh, and look at that as well as Rosenberg dropped his right rear, had a nice slide, never got out of it, came rocketing right up the inside of Chatrup. And I was just thinking that Rosenberg, if he can get to the lead and stay there, he's got to hustle, because that light car, if he can get everybody else to run off their tires, he's got a shot at this. But look at this now. We already see Curly using the big power of that Vette relative to the other cars, even though it's heavy, coming up.
O'Gorman got through about 6 or 7 cars in the chaos of turn one. Jensen did drive away. Amazing job to spin that car to the inside and not get run over by the 45 or so competitors behind him. Rosenberg running for his life.
Yep, that is his mission right now. Just go. Make them chase you and chase you hard. And look at this now. Curly to the inside of Chatrup. He's through.
Side by side for second. Curly grabs the second place away from Chatrup. Chatrup to the inside. Around the outside now is Robert Thorne, and Tom O'Gorman stuck behind a pair of his teammates. Gives a push and a shove to Thorne, pushing him through past Chatrup.
Oh, this is great. They're on the move here. This is into that really, really important turn 10 as it leads you into the best passing zone on the track.
Tomo up to 4th place. He is sailing, and Matan's got to just run, because once O'Gorman gets the second, it might be game over. But Chatrup out-dragging Tomo down the back straight.
Yep, a little bit more there in terms of the motor, but now on the brakes, here comes Tomo. And nice move, too, by, is that Solomon, defending on Waldbaum right now.
Yeah, Solomon and Waldbaum having a great battle for position amongst themselves as teammates. Chatrup down to 5th place in the opening lap. Rosenberg leads by 1.1 seconds over Paul Curley. Then it's Robert Thorne in 3rd. Look at this, Waldbaum to the outside. 3 ASM cars right on top of each other here, battling for position inside the top 10.
Yeah, Smedegard looked like he got down to the inside. We're on board with him right now. This is up into that tricky turn 3. You see that little blind approach? Right there, it gets light, falls away. You've got to time your braking really well. Everybody has.
Oh, big jump off the edge of the curb there for Waldbaum. Might leave him a little bit vulnerable. I think O'Gorman got by Robert Thorne in turn number 3, so his climb continues. He's up onto the podium already. Took full advantage of that gaggle in turn number 1 on the opening lap, but he's through into 3rd, chasing Curly now, and then he's got to run down young Matan Rosenberg, who would be, if he could hang on, the youngest winner in GRIDLIFE Touring Cup.
What a story he's become in a relatively short time here as we're back on board with Andy, currently sitting in that 9th spot with Waldbaum right in front of him. Oh, and look at O'Gorman coming after Curly right now.
Oh, Curly's going to drift a little wide. O'Gorman's going to have to run all the way to the edge of the road. On the brakes, a little wobble, but Tomo's there to the inside. Side by side, he can't do it. Curly didn't leave the space for him, and O'Gorman has to slot back in line.
Yeah, Curly shut the door on Tomo there. And that, as you said, causes him to lose a little bit of momentum. And that, that kind of action behind Rosenberg is going to be helpful to Rosenberg because it slows both of those guys down. They might want to just think about, all right, let's not work the passing too much here, and let's get up to Matan. Then let's see what we can do.
Here comes Ronnie Solomon on Louis Chatrup now. Waldbaum licking his lips as he sees these two battling side by side. Chatrup over back to the right a little bit. Here comes Waldbaum on his teammate down the inside. Backs out of it. Now they're door to door through turn 2.
Yeah, I think Solomon took that bait a little bit, saw him coming, and then went in a little deep. And Waldbaum thought, well, maybe that'll work for me. But this is 3 team cars that we're looking at basically right here. The interesting thing for Andy Smedegard, it's his team, but they're customers. So,
race them.
Exactly.
And he just put Matt Waldbaum behind him, took him to school there through turns 2 and 3. There's Swenson in the background. I mentioned he started this race in 9th. He remains in 9th. As I mentioned, it's hard for him to get past cars, but he's got teammates battling ahead of him. Ooh, big slide there for the 2-1-2. Swenson down the inside, not enough room for the lead. Here comes Curly around the outside for the top spot.
Gets the nose ahead, but Matan has that inside line. Look at O'Gorman's cut downs underneath as those two guys float out wide. This is going to be a pinch play right here.
3 wide for a moment. Curly through to the top spot. Rosenberg goes from 1st to 3rd. O'Gorman back to 2nd, chasing Curly through turn 9.
13th to 2nd in what, 2.5 laps?
Incredible. Now into 10B. Can Curly hold off O'Gorman? Now O'Gorman gets pushed a little bit wide. He's going to get a great run on the outside here, though. Can Curly keep the spot? Oh, right in front of O'Gorman now. Curly now has to drive away.
And Thorne now closing back up on the back of Rosenberg for that final podium spot. Meanwhile, potential run for the lead. You can see the legs on the Corvette. Here comes the brakes on the S2000, the slightly lighter car. Tomo, look at the speed he can roll.
Defensive line now for leader Paul Curley. He got it done around the outside in turn number 7. That was unbelievable. He leads into turn 1. This is the sector where O'Gorman's car is going to be good, though. He's got to make this Corvette very, very wide.
Yeah, and Tomo's doing the right thing. When you're at the end of a long acceleration run, you've got to come from a long ways back. And if you do that, you can get, surprise who's coming after you. They may not see you. What Tomo wants to do is exactly what you're talking about. He's into the part of the track now where he and this car sing. And he's just got to get up alongside, get that overlap.
Whoa, Matan Rosenberg off track, turn 3. Tires off into the dirt. He gathers it back up. Here comes Thorne now to the outside. But he kept it going straight. Now Thorne will take third away.
Yep, Thorne slices through, picks it up. But that little moment, look how much room now that Curley and O'Gorman have back to that battle for third, now held by Thorne.
Again, O'Gorman's car is really good through 7 through 9. It's got the arrow to lean on. Curley's does not. If Curley loses the lead here, it might be over. Tomo trying to find a way through the Corvette. A big obstacle out the windshield.
He's just got to be patient. He's got time. We're only a few minutes, well, we're about 10 minutes into this race, so.
Whoa, car off in the background. Matt Waldbaum goes for a ride. He gathers it back up. And we'll carry on and continue. Curley still holds off O'Gorman out of 10B. This is phenomenal stuff.
I think Waldbaum surprised Solomon and tried to come up the outside in that turn 4-5 complex. You don't see that happening much, and I'm not sure Solomon even realized he was there. And Waldbaum had to take a big evasive maneuver, but let's watch it again here. Tomo rolling so much speed, but this just turns into a drag race. And as that gap builds, it's going to be ever tougher for Tomo to get down to the inside and make a pass. Now, is he going to try the outside? No, he tucks in, but he might pop to the inside this time.
He knows not where to put. He's a professional racer, yep. Greg. He knows where not to stick the nose, and he's been trying a couple things, but it hasn't stuck. Curley is putting on a fantastic defense. Tomo there has, within a car length, he's within striking distance. He just needs a little bit more.
Exactly right. And and the thing is, once you get to the guy you're chasing, even if you're significantly faster, you got to run his speed until you get by him, and that's what Tomo's dealing with right now. And here's now Smedegaard is through his team
car. Look at Swenson past Waldbaum. That was a big dive into turn 5.
Yes, it was.
A couple cars bobbling, trying to make racing room work. And again, through 7, 8, 9, this is where Tomo's really well set up, but he's just got to find a way around. It's not as easy as it looks, Greg. He gained 50 positions, and this is the last one that's going to take him all race to get.
Well, and as the old saying goes, the farther up the field you go, the tougher the passes become. The one for the lead is always the most difficult. And what I was kind of expecting, now let's see if he tries an over-under here.
Oh, Curley's wide, but I think Tomo left him plenty of space to try to build a run. And here comes Tomo. Can he use the slipstream and all? I think this Corvette's too strong. There's a car off to the right there. I didn't catch what one that was.
I did not either.
There is a yellow flag over there. That is important because you can't pass in a sector that has a yellow flag displayed.
I think what Tomo might want to think about trying, and I'm sure he's working the machinations in his head, is coming through 7 and into 8. As Curley makes that little excessive bend to the right to set up to turn left into 9 or into 8, is just slice underneath him. Because he's rolling a lot more speed through that section of track than Curley is.
He's got a car that's better set up for that sequence of corners than Curley's, but Curley is better at that point and shoot that the remainder of the track is set up for. There's the 90 and the 26 still side by side for position as they battle with 3 minutes to go, and the lead battle has not separated. Oh, Curley's wide this time. This might be it. He slips and slides through 3, and O'Gorman puts the pressure on again.
Yep, now, let's see. Now, and what's that is telling us, of course, is that Curley now, he's racing so hard to stay in front of a very fast Tom O'Gorman. He might be pushing those tires at this point past their sell-by date, so to speak. And so O'Gorman just needs to keep hounding him. But the thing is, he's running out of time. Tomo's got to make this work somewhere. So let's see. This is where I think he could probably make a surprise move.
Oh, here he goes. Oh, he got overlap for a second. Greg, he almost had it. Tomo puts 2 tires in the dirt using a little bit of the road, plus 2 inches. Now into turn 8 and 9. This is where Tom's really good, but just doesn't have enough of a run. And to Curley's credit, defensive, not blocking.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a huge distinction here.
Yep, and We also have a really good battle going on. It's tough to not break away from this lead battle, but a superb battle going on behind these guys for that top 10 spot right now between Jorenstad, West Case, Eric Meadows, and Aranaskas. So they're having a good run too, but we can't just leave this one. It's too compelling here. And does Tomo get another lap or two? We'll have to see.
Coming back down the front straightaway.
No flag.
Into turn 1.
Yep, so at least 2 laps. Watch now, Tomo again. You can see Curley really protecting coming out of 1, staying inside going into turn 2.
Rosenberg feeling some pressure from Smedegaard in the background. Chatroop and Ronnie Solomon fighting for position.
Here's that battle. It's just coming through 1 right now. Really, really good scrap. And Case has moved up a spot. He's picked up that 11th spot.
There's the 144 and the 05. Brian Heitkotter shuffling his way through the field after replacing 2 engines this weekend. Trying to make it work. Matan Rosenberg now feeling pressure from Jeremy Swenson. Here comes Swenson now. Not enough overlap. Can't make it work.
Yeah, Heitkotter up 11 spots so far in this one. So he's continuing to show what he's made of here. There's a look at Smedegaard. Now pretty lonely 5th place right now.
Yeah, he's got Matan just trying to cling to 6th behind him. Jeremy Swenson, Matt Waldbaum is in the mix as well. And really dicey stuff here. There are a couple of cars up the road that might become lap traffic for the lead again. Curley a little bit wonky into turn 10B, and Tomo's right there, but this is where he keeps losing this drag race.
Yep.
And he can't pass on the straightaway. There's a caution here,
exactly.
And you can't initiate a pass until the next non-yellow corner station.
Absolutely. So, even if he could make a move into 10 in terms of pace and strategy, he's not allowed to because of that yellow.
Coming back.
I'm waiting for him maybe to, as Curley protects inside into 2, to maybe just ramp the outside.
White flag, 1 more lap to go in GridLife Touring Cup. It's time to go. 2.2 miles for Tom O'Gorman to figure it out to get by Paul Curley for the final race of the weekend. O'Gorman won the first race, had a failure, had to restart from 50th, drove all the way to the front, and here he comes for the top spot, the last position he needs to win race 4 at GingerMan Raceway, half a car length back from Paul Curley.
Oh, Curley's wide! Curley got in too hot. He will have the inside for 5, but O'Gorman now might be able to, now he couldn't do it, now he's going to see if he can get up the inside. Curley covers that. Oh, Curley may be a little hot there.
Oh, Tomo's there, right to the corner panel as they get to turn 6, but not enough of a run.
What great racing up front. Curley gets a little bit of room here now.
Up to turn 7. He's got a little bit of a gap, but can Tom eat it up here through 7? He's going to rim ride the outside. He needs to get this done by the time they get to 10B. That corner station's going to be yellow. He won't be able to do it unless he gets to turn 11 past that yellow corner station. Here he comes. Right on the bumper. O'Gorman to the left of Curley. Braking zone battle into 10B.
Car's gone. Passing is on. Tomo couldn't quite get it done, but now he squares up, gets a much better drive. He gets to the inside of Curley. The problem is, here's the drag race.
Side by side for a moment. Tom tucks back in line. Is he stuck here because of the yellow?
This is as close as he's been, though. He has a shot. It'll be a brave move if he can pull it off.
Final corner, GLTC race 4. Paul Curley, Tom O'Gorman. Going to be a drag race to the line, but Curley's going to win this one at GingerMan Raceway. Paul Curley holds off Tom O'Gorman and gets it done at GingerMan Raceway. Phenomenal battle, and he wins it. That was spectacular. More racing, more battles. Jorenstad, the 144. And here comes the 05 of... Oh, look at this. Big dive on the brake.
Now those Bimmers are so good on the bike.
Oh, Jorenstad slides!
Oh, hangs on to it.
That was great stuff. And to the stripe, gets it done. Heitkotter across the line behind them. Steve Pruden and more. Wow, here comes Jensen on a recovery. Remember, he spun turn 1 past.
Yep.
Joel Morrison repaired that car. That car was destroyed.
Unbelievable.
I can't believe that he is racing this car. This car had a ton of damage from race 3. Unbelievable. And Morrison finishes in 29th place with a car that should have been junked for the weekend. Race 3, he had a ton of right rear damage. Came back and fought. Well done. A little bit of 3 wide here. Tyler Starr slow. Fiona Liu and Wes Penn battling for position all the way back to the stripe.
Fiona has been really impressive this weekend. Not a lot of race experience for her, and she has put in some really solid drives. Had a 25th out of 55 cars. in the second race. So she's got some skills, to be sure. But Tomo having some fun out there.
Celebrating. He did everything that he knew how to do.
Well, think about it. Third race, he goes from, 55th to 13th. Last race goes from 13th to 2nd, and it was knocking on the door of first.
We got a car in the weeds down there, and that, to me, looks like a large vehicle. That could be the HMA Racing minivan.
Yeah, that's possible. But for Curley, second win on the season, and boy, did he have to earn this one.
Wow, they are really in there, and I think that is the Hart, Alabama Honda Odyssey, and it has gone off, and it is deep in the weeds over there. So that's not ideal.
No.
And this car, again, the most powerful by wheel horsepower in the entire field. It is also the heaviest car in the entire field, and Carl Hurdle and the Hart, Alabama crew brought this out. This is their first time at GingerMan Raceway, and plowing a path there deep into the weeds. And they're going to have to, I don't know, they're going to have to get one of those massive big rig tow trucks to pull that thing out of the weeds. But
a long winch.
Yeah, difficult. I mean, that's tough because, you know, it's hard to get sight on that corner.
Tell me about it.
It's really easy to have an issue, but straight off that far, you have to wonder if there was a braking issue of some kind, because that's pretty well straight off the corner.
Well, that has ABS, right?
Yes.
So what happens sometimes if you get in too hot and you get too hard? ABS isn't a cornucopia that just solves everything for you. And if you get into a corner where you're just too fast to make the corner, ABS eventually will just kind of go numb, and then it just kind of kicks into a mode where it really stops being too effective, and you just go straight off. And in that corner, with that power of that thing, he's moving.